Okay, I got everything moved. I'm taking you off the tripod now, and I've taken the cabinet door off, and I went ahead and put the 2 screws back in so I didn't lose the screws. I got this all cleaned out, and I'll wipe this one time to make sure there's no water in there. Got my trouble light on the ready, and I told you there was a garbage disposal here. See, I hardly have any room, huh? This drain is coming right down the middle. I can't crawl in that way. I'm gonna have to crawl in off to the right and off to the left underneath the garbage disposal. So I'm gonna have to unplug the garbage disposal because I don't want that wire in my way, wrap it all up, and I'll just have to scope out kind of what I have and look up in here and stuff, and I'm getting ready to do my next step. And I'm glad to see that the water valves have small threads going into it right here. Okay, and most of them do. There's some that don't, and if not, then you're going to have to figure out how to get some adapters and stuff, because these long pipes that come in here, they hook up, and they happen to be the small threads and the small size diameter. See, for this, if your water valve has it bigger than this, you're going to have to get an adapter, because this is how most of them come nowadays. Okay, and I'm glad to see that. I was pretty sure that was going to happen. Okay, so hey, one step at a time. I always tell people, hey, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you do anything DIY, no matter what it has to do with, including a kitchen sink faucet? One step at a time. That's what we're doing right now. Now, obviously, I may have a good idea of what to do and all that kind of stuff. I'm not even looking at this right now. I could open this up, read the directions and all that kind of stuff. You may want to do that first before you even decide to take your water faucet off. If you happen to see that there's certain things that you still need to get at the store, and if your sink faucet is still working, maybe you don't want to disconnect it right now. Maybe you want to run to the store and make sure you got all your parts. Maybe you want to wait until the weekend to do it, or something like that. Don't get this all pulled apart and then find out, oh shoot, I can't finish, and the store's getting ready to close because I was going to do this after work. It was getting late, and now here it is 10 o'clock. The hardware store's not open. Now I can't finish the job until tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm working all day, and then I've got to stop by and get the parts for tomorrow night. Now you've got your sink faucet not being used for a whole day in case somebody else in the household needs to use it for the following day. You see what I mean? Get ready for your project. All right. Okay, so for my next step, what was my next step? I'm gonna unplug the garbage disposal, tie up that. I'm gonna turn the hot and cold water valves off underneath the sink, and then I'm gonna lift this up and make sure. See, right now the water's still on. I'm gonna make sure that the hot and cold are shut off all the way, and it's not dripping and it's not trickling out and all that kind of stuff. That's my next step. One step at a time. We'll get her. Okay, now here's something I want you to be aware of. Before you disconnect, before you unplug the garbage disposal, you're gonna have to make sure you see which plug outlet you're undoing, so that when you put it back in, you put it in the same one. Because generally, they've got that hooked up to a light switch, wall switch. One of these is the garbage disposal. Let's just hit it and see. See? Okay, we know it's working and everything. And right now, that switch generally only controls the top part of that. The bottom one should be hot at all times. You got to remember that, so you don't re-plug it in and scare yourself half to death plugging it into the bottom and having the garbage disposal go on and think, oh man, what happened? You got to remember that. Sometimes electricians may just hook up that entire outlet. to a wall switch. Well, that's not right either, because generally your dishwasher usually has a long electrical cord to it that comes out through the side and comes through the hole and comes over here and gets plugged in. Well, this one doesn't. You see, that's the drain line, the white line that goes up to the air gap, and then you got a black pipe that comes over to the garbage disposal. Okay, that's for your air gap. Okay, and then that copper pipe comes over and goes to that. See, there's a separate gate valve. That's nice. They put a separate water gate valve for the dishwasher. Now the electrical on it, they might have done this differently. If you take the toe kick out, there might be an electrical outlet junction box in the back of that, or it could be hardwired into a metal box. Either way, the electrical, we know, is not over here, so it's somewhere over there, and my guess is they still wired up that electrical outlet to have the power on at the bottom. Okay, and I don't really care. Okay, I'm just pointing it out to you. All right.